Hello, and I've got here with me today Nastasia, Sisco, and Matthew Montoya, co-founders of Lumos Optical right here in downtown Boise. And I thought they would be a great fit, or I thought you would both be a great fit for Boise Startup Week 2020 with the theme Be Resilient, because I feel like that's really built into your and baked into your business model. So I was wondering if you could start out by telling me a little bit about your business model and what differentiates you from other optical retailers.
Well, from working in optical for many years, I was shocked to find out that many frame companies that are seemingly very distant from each other are actually owned by the same companies. And there are a lot of small, truly independent frame companies and labs that are trying to hold their own and not be overtaken by these conglomerates. But aside from those few, almost everything can be traced back to one source.
Wow.
And it gets worse. They own the frame brands. They own the lens manufacturers that make your lenses. They own the box chain stores where you go to shop. And they own even the vision insurance companies that you're using to pay for those items. So they have you pay for the insurance, then they mark it up, then they give you the discount. So it's really all going back into the same pockets. And in this traditional world of eyewear, the consumer never wins.
It's that traditional model that we're really trying to get away from. The rest of the world is doing a direct-to-consumer model. It's really what's happening in Europe right now. It's by this process that we work directly with manufacturers that we are able to pass on the savings directly to the consumer. That means that we don't sell name brand frames. We are able to give you the best prices and the best styles. A lot of what we're doing here also has to do with the processes we're doing in-house. And the biggest component of that is that we do our lab work here. The biggest cost that we had looked at was outsourcing the lab work. By us doing our lab work in-house, we are able to source high-quality lenses at a fraction of the cost. The lab that we built, we did from the ground up. We outsourced, or we were able to get used machines from Europe. The market here in the United States is completely different. So a lot of our supply chain is out of China, out of Europe. And by doing that, we had an initial investment, but the cost savings to us overall over time allows us to have a starting price point of $99, and that is for a complete package, which is the frame plus the lens. Aside from selling glasses, we have a service model that is a one-stop shop for anybody that is buying your glasses. That is also, we are a full-service repair shop. We do adjustments and fittings. And most importantly, we offer prescription renewals. That has also been fundamental to what our whole model is here in that one-stop shop. Our partner, Smart Vision Labs, allows us to do in-person vision tests. They are then, the vision test is then sent offsite to an optometrist that prescribes it for 2 years. That allows the consumer, our customers, to have full access to that prescription at any time via a secure online portal. So bringing it all back, we are wanting to be able to cut out the middleman in any way that we can possible and providing these services directly to our customers.
That's fantastic. So knowing that, I mean, obviously price point plays into it. They're very affordable glasses. What inspired you to start this business model now?
I have experienced financial struggles in my life, and I have been affected by the frequency and quality of the glasses that I can get. And especially in a time like this, it's being able to offer affordable pricing to people is something that not a lot of places are doing. I was 25 when I was working at a high-end luxury boutique before I got my first pair of excellent glasses. And I have a very thick prescription.
Oh, I can relate.
Yeah, very thick prescription. And that pair cost $850.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just not sustainable to get once a year, once every 2 years. And we wanted to make sure that a pair of that quality is under $200 at Lumos.
There's so many lost opportunities that you have when you don't have the tools to succeed. And vision, in the way that Nastasia described for myself, wearing glasses, and for a lot of our customers, that's not having the tools to succeed and be prepared in everything that we do. We don't look at vision as being as much of a necessity or essential as it really is. And that really comes down to what does inspire us is these companies that are changing the vision industry, mostly in the online retail world. And that's where we really want to be competitive in our pricing, is with that model. They're also doing a lot just in terms of their give back programs in the community. And that's also a huge inspiration to us as well. The big shift that we've seen in consumer demand to the online retail world, that in itself made us really think really hard about where we were going with our pricing model, which is why we settled on our initial starting price of $99, because we felt that that was inclusive to anybody, and that is anybody, including people that don't have access to insurance. The other part that really inspires us and gives us the passion in what we do is we have worked in customer service for so long that the human component is critical to what we're doing. It's having the trust in us that we are providing you with quality service, but also that we are providing quality frames and materials to you as well. So the trust in what we're doing and us being able to provide that customer service on a daily basis is what inspires us to do what we're doing here at Lumos in the way that we have chosen to do that with this business model.
I love that. I mean, I think it's fantastic. It's absolutely, being incredibly nearsighted myself, like you, Nastasia, my prescription's off the charts. Every time I see an eye doctor, he's like, wow, or she's like, wow, you're really blind. So I get it. And glasses are expensive. Even being employed, I don't like buying glasses. It's a drag every year. So I'm excited to come shop because I have my new updated prescription. So we'll have to do that at some point.
Come on down.
So now your original opening date was going to be tied to Treefort this year in March. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. Can you talk about a little bit about what did that mean for you as a new business and as new business owners? In terms of having to pivot, what changes it, how did it change your business, and what impacts did it have on, hey, we're establishing ourselves, we're launching, and then, or we're not in the way we thought?
Well, we wanted to open for Treefort with a bike.
A mobile bicycle, riding around Treefort, being like, hey, look at us, it's Lumos, need some glasses. But we were actually in London on our way to Italy when Milan was shut down. There was going to be a huge optical convention that we were going to be able to touch the product meet with our manufacturers and purchase everything we needed, come back home and just have it and be ready to go. But thankfully, we got turned around in London, so we did not get stuck in quarantine over in
That's
Italy.
good.
We might still be there today.
Yeah, seriously.
But it was difficult going from being able to touch things and meet face to face with these people, and it was scary worrying about their well-being and worrying about, okay, when is this going to take hold here? Because we're working directly with people overseas, we had to pay a lot of attention to what was going on over there. So our supply chains were impacted. We had to purchase a lot more upfront, and a lot of it just kind of on a sample model and good faith. Like, I'm going to sample maybe 10 or 12 of these frames and a couple of lenses and hope that that is indicative of the other 1,000 in this line. And it actually turned out really well, but it was quite the unexpected upfront cost to purchase enough to be able to start if we were not able to get things shipped to us in any timely fashion.
Yeah, a lot of research went into this in the very beginning of what we were going to be able to do in terms of having inventory. But our whole pre-COVID idea was that we were going to be mobile-centric, that everything that we were doing was going to be mobile-based from the platform that we developed for ourselves. The idea was that we were going to be bringing this to the people, and that we are going to be able to serve our community and locations that are underrepresented and underserved.
Speak to a little bit of, obviously the pandemic is a huge issue affecting so many, which we've already touched on a little bit. And then, there is a lot of social unrest. And one of the things I wanted to have you both speak to a little bit is challenges or opportunities you see being a Black, Latinx, queer-owned business here in Boise.
Our business is a direct reflection of who we are. Within those experiences we bring, there are positives and negatives. In this climate, often we have to ask ourselves, are we safe?
Mm-hmm.
And this is usually a calm and low crime capital city. And we are sometimes worried about who's going to walk in the door. I personally have experienced aggressive racism a couple of times here.
And in this state, I can still be discriminated against in employment and housing because of who I love. That there are people out there that may want to not support who we are, or feel like that they have an opinion that they need to be completely vocal about. So we, on the other side of that, will be vocal about the values that we are going to represent and what is the reflection of us. The other part to that too, though, is if we feel safe, is that we both live downtown. This is our neighborhood, so what we're seeing is happening at our doorsteps. This isn't something that we are leaving when we aren't here at work, that we are downtown seeing all of this unrest. And we believe in exercising your First Amendment right. We will do that ourselves. What we have been seeing, though, is these intimidation tactics that are disruptive to our downtown community. And that is we're seeing that as residents, but we're also seeing that as a business, because it's important to us that our customers come here and feel safe, just as we want to feel safe when we are coming to work.
You mention community often. Can you talk a little bit about what that means to you? And obviously, you know, we did talk about that and touch on that a little bit in terms of social justice and things like that. But can you talk a little bit more specifically about that and Lumos Optical?
Well, as a Boise native, community means everything to me. The family and friends and all the amazing people that I've met through work really have shaped the person that I am. And what that means is that we have a shared responsibility in growing this community in a positive way. We are doing that by having started a spotlight series where we partner with community organizations and local leaders, amazing volunteers, and being able to amplify their voices and their causes that align with our mission. This month, we are currently running a campaign with the Add the Words organization for their mutual aid fund. We are donating 10% of our September proceeds to the mutual aid fund, which is helping LGBTQ plus and other marginalized communities during COVID-19. These are communities that have been affected the most and are also being underserved and underrepresented. So it's really important to us that we are diving into doing this work and being able to share in the success that we're having with the amazing customers that we have, and being able to go out in the community and share that with everybody, because it means so much to us that we have had such amazing customers coming to us and sharing their stories of heartache, because there is a lot of it going out there. But on the other side of that, there is a lot of positivity that's happening within this community. And it's our goal to be able to share in all of that and to be able to create lasting change.
I love that. That's fantastic. The last question that I have for you both today is, what advice do you wish you had before you began, knowing what you now know? I mean, obviously, hopefully not everybody's going to be starting a business in the middle of a pandemic, but, you know, what advice can you offer to other entrepreneurs who are looking to do, you know, they've got some great ideas too, and how they want to move forward? What do you wish you had been told?
Well, let me just say this real quick, that we are first-time business owners, so we are navigating all of this
In real time.
In real time. That there has been so much that we have learned over the last months in terms of just operating a business. I mean, we did do a lot of research and everything, but the practical application and the day-to-day is much different. So really it's about all of the education that you can do beforehand and finding those organizations and individuals that are going to support you.
I think it's about, like, do the work, do the research. I wish I would have known that it was going to be every tiny little piece that is our responsibility. And I love that. Like, we do our own marketing. We are not outsourcing anything to anyone. We painted everything. We put our entire store together ourselves. We drove a truck down to IKEA and, like, in a rainy night, put a tarp over all of our stuff. And it's really rewarding. But it's not just, I have this good idea, let me focus on the good idea. There a lot of time goes into the brand continuity and the little tiny bits, the brand colors, the late nights, learning how to install track lights. Like, I didn't know that I could do all of those things, and we can, like, do the work, do the research. Sounds cheesy, but believe in yourself.
No, I think
not
that's
to be
important.
afraid to tackle these projects. that was the biggest thing. When we were building our store out, we did get bids from contractors to do the work, and we were just like, we can't afford that.
We can spend that money better elsewhere. The less money that we spend on building out the space is the more we can pass that on to the customers. Like, how would we be profitable by year 1, year 2 if we spend all this money up front on something like a fancy chair? We would have to raise the prices of our glasses, and it's just all these little things really goes into staying true to your values at all times. Like, when the going gets tough, go back to, is this consistent with my core values? That was really helpful for us.
And also set a budget.
Yes.
It's really important to do that in your pre-planning phases of everything. We had set budgets for literally everything and broke those budgets down. So that really guided us through the whole process, if that was us doing our purchasing, or if that was us doing our build out, if that was
which security system
which security system do we use. So a lot of that went into our pre-planning was the budgeting process in itself. And the reason we had to stick so much to that budget is because we already had our pricing model planned out. And in order for us to continue with that pricing model that we had set from the very beginning, it was important for us to stay on budget throughout this whole process. And to give credit to, who's not here, is our other co-founder, Gloria, that she has really been our guiding force. Yeah, that she came to us with all the experience that she has had and success that she has had in the tech world. And that's everything from her being a woman in tech and over the last 20 years, dealing with that environment, giving us the know-how on how to navigate all of these different things in the business world was huge.
But also delivering a product that isn't on the market quite yet, or changing something a little bit different. She has absolutely been our driving force about staying on target, creating a goal, creating a due date, sticking to that due date, and doing the work.
That's fantastic. It sounds like each of you bring a slightly different skill set and slightly different set of strengths, and that melds really well together. So that sounds like that's an important piece too, is if there's more than one of you involved in the business, how can you complement one another to best serve your idea, really, and take it to one level and the next level and beyond.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Bring it back to the core values.
Exactly. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today, you two.